I just appreciate that you're all here. Okay, so we're still kind of talking about Elul and our perspective on it. And I think it's very important because it really is this auspicious time that we want to take the most advantage of that we can. Okay, so first of all, did anybody practice what I was talking about? So last week we talked about like this concept of ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I'm to my beloved as my beloved is to me. And we like to walk around and it's beautiful. And I'm so happy we say it, you know, like Hashem loves me. But this week I really wanted us to try to say, anyone remember?
We love Hashem.
Yes.
We love Hashem.
Okay, we love Hashem. I love Hashem. Okay, so true story happened to me today. And it wasn't so much fun. You know, you ever make yourself a really good, brand new, fresh, yummy, hot cup of coffee? Yeah? Isn't that fun? Like everybody loves their big hot coffee. Don't ask me how, but as I went to get it, it spilled all over me. Okay. And it was like really, really hot. It was not fun, right? So my first thing was like, ah! Then I went, wait a minute. I love Hashem. And Baruch Hashem, this is the only thing that happened. I just spilled coffee. It's coffee all over me. And I'm okay. Yeah, it's like a little hot. It hurts. And I ran down the stairs. I said, hiya, what can I do for this? You know, she gave me aloe vera and Baruch Hashem. I feel 100 million times better. But it was very interesting for me to have that moment where I caught myself and I was able to really, like, I can't tell you how much it calmed me down just to go, you know what? I love Hashem, and whatever he's doing for the best. And if this coffee spilt on me, it's okay. It's spilt on me and I'm going to be okay. And it just felt amazing. And I was like, I want to share that with you. I can't say I do it all the time, but I did do it this time. And I really think having that focus, like trying to look to say, I love you, Hashem, like unconditionally, just like you love me, good, the bad, and the ugly, it really was incredibly helpful. So I just think it's a nice idea. Ani l'dodi v'dodi li is knowing that Hashem is woohoo with his arms open, ready for you. And ready for you means like you could be running towards your father and trip on the way. Okay. So as you're tripping, you're going, oh, what am I running for my father for? So you say, oh no, ani l'dodi v'dodi li. You love me, Hashem. Whatever's happening, you love me, Hashem. And it's worth it. The trip, the fall, the hurt, it's all worth it if I can get to you. Do you know what I mean? So I just like want to share that with you. Okay, now if you look, it's very interesting what the Zohar says. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so sorry, somebody just sent me something on the chat, but I don't understand it 100%. Okay, and we'll look at it later. So what was I going to tell you? So when you look, the Zohar says something very interesting when it comes to this concept of ani l'dodi v'dodi li. So it says in the beginning of Elul, I want to read it. It says, we are achar el achar, meaning we're back to back. And by the end of Elul, we're panim el panim, we're face to face. So what does that mean? Like in the beginning of Elul, we're back to back, right? And then by the end of Elul, we're face to face. So what do you think that means? What does it mean like when you have a relationship and you're kind of standing back to back? You know, one's like this and the other one's like this. What does that mean?
Maybe
Sorry, Sandy, what do you say?
It's defensive.
Yeah, it's defensive. So you wouldn't really think
Protective.
it's protective. It's not 100% warm.
It's not open. It's not open.
No, it's not.
Where it's a closed relationship and the other way is open.
Right, 100%. So it's a very close relationship. So, you know, like when you watch in the movies, you know, when they get mad at each other and one person turns one way and the other person turns the other way. And, you know, you're in the movie and you really like, you want that couple to get back together again, right? And then you see the guy turns around, right? And he's like, I don't know, should I say I'm sorry? Should I talk to her? And then he turns and then he sees her back. And what happens? Like, totally deflated. And you're like, oh, and then he turns back. And then what happens to her? She's thinking, I don't know, maybe I should say sorry. And then she turns around and what does she see? She sees his back. And then what happens? Like everybody in the audience is at the edge of their seat going, oh my gosh, if they only knew, right? That the other one had turned around. Oh, wow. And we're like, so like, oh, right? Like, in our heart. So the story here is our perception is it's back to back. But what Elul is trying to tell you is Hashem is staring at you waiting. So all you have to do is turn. And this is a very important line because we make this mistake. When I say Shana Tova, what does everybody think Shana Tova means? Like I wish you Shana Tova Mituka. What do you think I'm wishing you?
Good year.
A good year. But the word Shana in Hebrew has many explanations, right? Shana is a change or to turn. You know that? So that's what we're trying to say here. In Elul, you may think in the beginning you're mad at Hashem and Hashem's mad at you. Like, what do? I don't deserve anything. And anyway, by the fact, who cares? It's not even that I don't deserve anything. Look at all the garbage that I got hit with this year. Obviously, Hashem has his back to me. So in Elul, Anila Dodi Vidodi Li is to wake you up to the fact that you're making a mistake. We're in that romantic movie, and be smart. Turn around. Okay? That person does really love you, and they're facing you. They're waiting for you to turn around. So very beautiful idea. So what it says is, in the beginning, you seem to be back to back. Now you're going to be punnin to punnin, face to face. And whenever we say the word punnin, like face to face, it means pneumius. It means you're going to be like the inside of you. Your real inside is really facing each other. So you know what? As much as people go around going like, I hate God, they really want God. Right? The same thing like when a kid is very mad at his parents, you're like, I hate you. It's really, I love you. That's what they're really saying. I'm so hurt. I really just love you. I just want your love, but I don't know what to do with it because it's not coming the way I want it to come. Do you know what I mean? Right? So that's what's going on here. And I think it's a very, very beautiful idea. So it's very important for us to think about it. It really is. Okay. So what do you want to do? You want the love story. That's what you really want. All of us, all the chick flicks that you watch. Okay. You want to see that happy ending and you want to see that you turned around. Don't be foolish. Like how one turned and the other turned, but they missed each other. So in this case, you're not going to miss anything. You turn and Hashem is waiting for you right then and there. And that's who you truly are. So you get to show Hashem your godly soul and you get to see the soulful God. Do you know what I mean? And that's where you really you line up together, which I think is so nice. So now this is the concept I'm going to tell you is not so easy, but it's an important concept for us to see because we've got to see it in view of our life and the year that we're in and the period in history that we're in, because we really are, I'm going to be as real can be, in a very confusing time in history. Does anybody feel that way or am I the only one? Okay, so what are we finding so confusing? I really want to be real. What do you listen to the news, you see things that are happening. What is so confusing about everything that's going on?
The message is not consistent. It constantly changes.
Okay, so give me, what do you mean by that?
Wear masks, don't wear masks, vax, don't get vaxxed.
Perfect. Okay, I really think that that's 100% true. We're at a point, somebody was telling me a story that they were at the border trying to cross into Toronto. They were coming from New York and even the border people were getting all confused. Everyone's getting confused. The border people said, I'm not really sure if your son who's 12 or under 12 really has to quarantine or doesn't have to quarantine. And then one of them was, we have to give you a COVID test. Do you have a mask? So she said, I don't have a mask. So he said, well, then we can't give it to you right here and you'll have to take it with you into Toronto. And then they said, but this doesn't make any sense because even if I had a mask, I have to take the mask off for you to give me the COVID test. So the guy said, I just can't explain it, lady. Just take this kit and do it when you get home, okay? So in other words, ugh. And I also feel there's a lot of this feeling is it over? Isn't it over? Is 2 vaccines enough? Aren't they enough? It's just way out of line. What's the message? What do you think?
Not in control.
Okay.
That's the message for everything. We're not.
Sandy, okay. Oh, I love you. Okay, so Sandy's got it. All right, guys? Sandy's got it. Now go back.
She watches too much TV.
Yeah, good girl. So in some cases, if it taught you that, then it's all right. So let's go all the way back.
Also there's
Yes,
a big confusion about male and female.
Yes. Okay, beautiful. I'm so glad you said that. things that once upon a time, like we grew up, you just went to the male bathroom or the female bathroom. Okay, now you go somewhere and you're about to walk into the bathroom. You have to be very careful what bathroom you're going into. Like, who's going to be in that bathroom? Like, it used to be like, are you a boy or are you a girl? Now you can be 500 different things. Like, it's just everything that you, moral understanding of value of what life was, what it was to be married, what it was to have children, what it was to be like, it's like, help, right? And I was listening to someone speak today, Rabbi Nissel, and he was saying, the fastest growing religion, so to speak, is atheism. Okay, it's very cool to be an atheist right now. Like, that's like cool. Like, what are you? I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything, nothing. Like, there's no God, no purpose, no nothing. It's just, what I feel, what you feel, that's all that matters. Okay. So that only adds, like, you're seeing when you're living in a world like this, like, it's even more confusion. And I'm finding, like, what I find really weird is, like, when you were looking at pictures, like, they're showing you pictures of the Taliban in Afghanistan, right? Like, as progressive as we are, like, to take history back centuries and treat women like this, and you know what I mean, and dress like this, like, they have sophisticated guns in their hands, and yet they, like, you feel like you're dealing with these, like, barbarians of hundreds of years ago, chopped people's heads off. And do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's
Also, can I say something, please?
Sure, Talia.
You know how you said that that there's no atheism was a cool thing, but I think it started in the 1960s. Even John Lennon's song Imagine, like, there's a line in that song, Imagine no religion.
Yeah.
And I think everything started in the 1960s.
Yeah, could very well be, where there was this whole, like, sexual revolution and this revolution, and we want to do what we want to do, and don't tell us what to do. So you're seeing a ton of this, like, crazy confusion. And what's Hashem showing you the results of this crazy confusion? What's it resulting in?
It doesn't work. It's chaos.
Beautiful. Okay, that's exactly the word. That's exactly the word I would use. Like, you picked the word right out of my mouth. It's chaos. So we need to understand something. This isn't the first trip. All right, we need to understand it's not the first time around in history that this happened. Where's the first time that this happened? When the Jews were in Egypt. Okay, so the Jews are coming out of Egypt, and Hashem says something very strange to Moshe.
What about Noah? Isn't that even before?
Even Noah, I would say even more Egypt in some ways, because Noah was a son, you know what I mean?
No, but the generation was.
Yeah, the generation was chaos, and the answer was destruction.
Right.
Right? Egypt was, I'm not going to destroy the whole world. I'm going to reveal something in this world. And that's what I think you're seeing. That's what the rabbis are saying you're seeing right now. Like, what was it that Hashem did to Paro? What did he do? It's very odd. The whole story is very odd. He says to Moshe, go to Paro, right? He's not going to listen to you. Okay, I'm going to harden his heart. You're going to have to do 10 million miracles to get these people out. And I'm doing it on purpose. I'm doing it on purpose. I want to make a mockery out of this concept of people thinking they are in control and they are God. I just want to make it a joke. I want everybody to see how foolish those thoughts are. And we're all going to laugh at the end. Okay, we're going to laugh. We're going to see a justice. We're going to see a day where you're going to come, like what it says in Shir Hamalos. You know, you say Shir Hamalos all the time. Such a beautiful Tehillim, right? We say it all the time before Shabbos because it talks about the end of days. And in it, when you look at it, that's what it says. It's going to be like you're going to sow with tears. It's not going to be easy. We're going to have to work hard, and I'm going to explain that. So even when we're looking at our new year, we have to appreciate our new year comes with work. Okay, and you're going to sow with tears. Like it's a lot of work to be a Jew and to stay moral and to stay decent and to do all the things that we have to do. It's work. It's work. And And you're going to work hard. You're going to cry. Like, oh my gosh, I'm planting all these seeds, raising my children in this chaos, trying to stay, in shul in this chaos, trying to stay close to people in this chaos, trying to keep a smile on my face in this chaos, right? Right? And then Hashem says at the end, you're going to laugh. You're going to wake up and you're going to laugh. You're going to say, oh my gosh. And that's what the Jewish people, right? All this fear of Paro, and he was so powerful, we're never going to get out of here, and this is just a mess, and look at what he's doing, and he's the king, and he's all powerful. And at the end, Hashem says, no, he's just a little puppet in my hand. And that's what you're seeing right now. Like, I don't know about you, but every politician out there, you really feel he's a puppet with strings that are pulling, because it's not making 1 ounce of sense, the decisions that they're making. It's like crazy. And they talk out of one mouth and then they say another thing out of another mouth. And now that we have technology, they get caught. You know what I mean? It's not like they can, I deny I ever said that. And then they show it to you on the film and you're like, okay. Hashem wants to show us something. So in Elul, you want to turn around and say, Hashem, you love me in all this chaos. And in the reality, this chaos is very controlled. It's controlled chaos. Okay, that's what we have to appreciate. So it's not random chaos. When it's random chaos, then you really can be scared. Right? But when it's controlled chaos, then it has a purpose. So I want you to keep that idea over here. Okay, and now I'm going to give you another idea and then we're going to tie them together. Okay, so here comes the other idea. I said to you, remember last time we were talking about Elul, we said these like wonderful qualities Elul has, and we said one of them is that Elul is a gift. Okay, so what's gift mean to you? I'm being honest. What's a gift? What's a gift?
We can make use of something, or it makes us happy.
Not something that makes you happy.
Something that's going to benefit us.
Something that's going to benefit you. Okay, so gifts. All right, so there's languages of love, right? Does everybody know this concept of the languages of love? Everybody has a different language of love. What does that mean? Something that you do for them, say to them, whatever it is that makes them feel loved, right? So does anybody know name a language of love? Anybody know any of the languages of love?
French.
Say this again. What, Leora?
French.
What?
French is the language of love.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I can't understand. For some reason, I
She
can't.
said French. She said French. The language French.
Oh, French is like, no. They say there's 5 languages of love.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
I don't mean it as proper lashon, like
well,
language.
Music,
What-
music.
No.
No,
that's
can I
interesting.
say? Oh, hello.
Yeah, Barb,
Hi.
say it for a
So,
second.
a language of love is gift,
Yes.
spending time with somebody,
Yes,
spending time with them, doing things for them,
yes,
and words of
Yes.
affirmation,
yes.
and the other real intimacy, I
Right.
guess.
Physical.
Physical.
Okay, so this is what it means. People, there's 5 different things. Barb's going to help me. There's 5 different things that you do to express love, right? And these are 5 things that people appreciate and feel loved when you do them. What's the problem often in marriages? Like, I'm being very real. This isn't a joke. And between parents and kids, your languages of love are different.
That's right.
Right? Like, in other words, like my language of love, I like when you do things for me. Like, I'm that kind of wife. If I ask my husband, change the light bulb, and he changes it, I feel like, so a lot of times women will ask their husband, change the light bulb. And what does he say?
I'm too tired.
Yeah. Or
You do
not
it.
now. Or why can't you call an electrician?
You do it.
Right, you do it. Right. So that doesn't make me feel loved. Okay. Now, some people, like one of my kids, gifts.
Yeah.
They don't care if you gave them time. They don't care if you said you were the best kid in the whole wide world. They wanted stuff. Okay. If you didn't give them stuff, they didn't really feel loved. Okay. So gifts are a way to express love. right? That's what we're trying to say. So Elul expresses love. How does Elul express love to us? What's the gift of Elul that Hashem gave us? What's the
Because he's with you. He's giving you the time.
okay? He's giving you time. He's giving you this possibility to do tshuva. He's trying to show you, I don't want to mess you up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to give you tests that are too hard. I don't want to see you not pass. I want to see you pass. I want to see, you say you're sorry and I'm here to forgive. Okay. So that's a big gift. All right. So now Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tells us that there are 3 gifts that God gave the Jewish people. Now, if God gives you a gift, what are you thinking? What do you know about that gift? It's not going to be a recycled bagel toaster, okay? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us, we give gifts, okay? So, sometimes you're invited to the shower and you have this stuff, you had this thing in your house, like this nice platter that's, not really what you wanted. So you repackage it. Has anybody ever done this? And you give it as a gift. So, what kind of gift is that? It's not really a gift that, you put a lot of thought into it. It's just regifting gifts. People regift gifts. Okay, things you don't want, you save them, you package them up and pass them on to somebody else. But a gift that Hashem is going to give to the Jewish people, what do you think that gift's going to be? Like, name the qualities.
It's something that you really, that you need, that's going to benefit
right.
you.
Like, in other words, like Hashem isn't going to give you some regifted, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, in other words, it's going to be a gift that he knows is extremely good for you, right? This is your loving father giving you a gift, okay? It's something he knows you're going to really need. What else do you think it's going to be? Like, I'm being real. How long do you think the gift is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
It's not going to give you a gift, that over time it's going to wear out. So
As long as you appreciate it.
Oh, okay. That was humongo. Okay. So Sandy said something very important, which we're going to talk about. Okay. So now I want to just tell you, I was listening to a number of rabbis. Rabbi Hach used to always tell this story, right? So the rabbis use it always when it comes to free will choice. Like, why did Hashem give us free will choice, not make us a robot? Because they say that when you earn something, when you have to work hard for something, then there's a great pleasure in it, right? So I remember one time Rabbi Hach told the story about his son. He wanted a Lego set, okay? It was really super duper expensive. So Rabbi Hach said to the son, I'm happy to give it to you, but you need to earn it, okay? So what was the earning? He had to memorize like X amount of Mishnayos, okay? So he had to learn Pirkei Avos and memorize it, okay? So he gave him these Mishnayos to memorize, and this kid worked his kishkas out for it, all right? Now, he said the Mishnayos, and then he got the gift, right? So now I'm going to ask you, was he given a gift, or did he just earn it? And it wasn't anymore a gift. So let's say he took, 2 hours to learn all this Mishnayos, and he got $100 Lego set.
It was a bit of both.
Okay, very well said. Okay, very well said. And in fact, I want to tell you something that Rabbi Hach said, that when he finished saying the Mishnayos, he got such incredible pleasure that Rabbi Hach saw in this kid's face that he actually enjoyed earning the gift more than the gift itself. Like, once he got the Lego, he opened it up, he played for an hour and finished. But the pride that he took, like he'd always mentioned to his father, remember how I learned all that Mishnayos? Remember how I did this? Remember how I did this? Right? Like, so it's very, very interesting. The gifts that Hashem is going to give us, these 3 gifts that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to tell you in all honesty, I think the gifts that Hashem gives us all the time, he wants us to work for them. Okay? And the reason why he wants you to sort of work for them, to earn them, is because he wants you to feel even greater pleasure than just being given a gift. All right? So, and what's interesting is you will earn it and you will feel good, but the value of the gift is always going to surpass what you've done. Life in itself is such a humongous gift. Like if Khalila Vachas, like when you had, like, was it Bill Gates? Who died of cancer? Was it Bill Gates? No, it wasn't Bill Gates. He's still alive. Who was the other one who was?
It was Apple, the owner of Apple.
Yeah. What was his name? How come I can't remember his name? Do you guys remember? Anybody remember? Jobs. Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah. So Steve Jobs, like it was really, that was a big thing. He died of cancer, right? And as he was dying, like he really struggled with this. He had enough money to buy whatever he wanted all his, all these years, right? And he was laying in that bed and it drove him crazy. He said, like, I would pay anybody right now to take my suffering and die instead of me. And I, with all my millions and billions of dollars, I can't buy that. I could buy someone to do anything for me, cut my toenails, do anything. I could buy anything. I have so much money. I could buy anyone to do anything for me, but I can't buy anyone to die for me so that I could live. So, so no matter what we do, like just the gift of life itself, you'll never really be able, it's priceless, right? So there's certain gifts, like Hashem is going to allow us that feeling like we can earn them and we have to work for them. And that's going to make us feel even better. So you're going to be looking here, right? Like we're asking for gifts from Hashem. And Hashem says, I have these 3 gifts. These are all 3 things you need. Okay, these are the gifts you need. I'm not kidding. This is your lifeline, these 3 things that I want to give you, right? But says the Mishnah, the Talmud in Brachos and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, you have to earn them. The question is, how do you earn them? Okay, what are they and how do you earn them? So too, even the gift of Elul. Hashem is saying, I give you this gift, the possibility to take advantage of the fact that I am here for you. But you still have to earn it. You still have to turn around. Do you see what I mean? You still have to talk to me. You still have to make the step. You still have to say, Ani lidodi v'dodi li. I love you, Hashem. If you don't do that, then you don't get the gift. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Because it's deep, okay? Because you can't we get used to like, gonna get a free coupon. Okay, it's not a free coupon, and it's not a free coupon because then it's a really worthwhile gift. It's much more worthwhile. That's what Hashem is saying. It's a greater gift if I make you have to work. Okay, so who knows what the 3 gifts are? Does anybody know? Because it's very different. Okay, it's different than what we would think. What are the 3 gifts that Hashem gave the Jewish people? Does anybody know what the 3 gifts are? Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Olam haba. Okay. Eretz Yisrael. Interesting. And the Torah. Not interesting? So these are the 3 gifts that Hashem gave us. And these 3 gifts are purpose. That's what they are. They're really purpose. Okay, so that's a big one. So these are all the things that we are thinking about, and these are all the things that we want. This is what we want. Okay, so what do they represent? But these are the 3 gifts that we want. What does Olam Haba mean? Okay, we really have to know what it means. That's our problem. I think a lot of people don't know. What's Olam Haba mean?
Eternity?
Okay, what kind of eternity though? Like, because I think people are confused. When you say eternity, like Cheryl, it is true, it is eternity, but what kind of eternity is it?
It's a purpose for us in this world. We're working towards something.
Okay, so what
A
are we?
place in the world to come.
Okay, so this we have to understand. This world Olam Haba is not death. Okay, it's nothing to do with death and floating souls. Okay, it's not. So everyone has to know that. When you're asking for Mashiach, you're asking for Olam Haba. Okay, we need to know that. All right, Olam Haba is a body and soul together. All right, when we die, people who are dying now, like, where are they? They're in Olam HaNishamot. They're in the world of souls. Sometimes that world of souls is even called Gan Eden. So it's like good for us to know that too. Okay, you want to get your terminology straight. All right. Olam Haba is a period in history. And that period in history is the destiny of history, the end of history. Okay. What do we call it? We always make that expression. It's going to all be good in the end. it's the good in the end. Okay, that's what it means. All right, we're talking about that. It's all gonna be good in the end. Okay, what does that mean? So it's the good in the end. So define for me, I want you to tell me, because I want you to know what we're davening for. What will the world look like? I'm asking you seriously, what will the world look like in Olam Haba?
There's no illness,
Perfect.
and there's no war.
Perfect.
What else?
Even the animals, right? Right?
Lion will lie down with the
Lion will
lamb.
sleep, but the animal people will not be, animals will no longer be aggressive either. Like there won't be aggression in the world. Okay, so
We're all going to be vegetarian. No, that's true.
my sister, my daughter-in-law is going to be so happy. I can't tell you. Okay, she is a
I
vegan.
didn't think it was a body thing. I didn't think it was.
Yeah, that's why it's very important for us to understand this. It's very important for us to
To eat,
understand.
like, do we need?
Yeah,
I thought
it's very important for us to understand. Okay, that's why we really have to understand this stuff. Okay, so let's go over this. What's the world's view? Okay, what's the world's view? Because right now you're in a world of chaos, right? Confusion, chaos, doubt, like what's right, what's wrong? Okay, so what's going to be the difference in the world of Olam Haba?
We will all know Hashem.
Okay. So we will all know Hashem, all of humanity. So Jew, non-Jew, everyone will know that there is a God. Like, in other words, we will come to a point in history, which is a very important point, where finally we will see what really has been a lie all this time. Where have we put all our trust? You know, we put our trust in our money, in our banks, in our governments, in our movie stars. Okay, really, like, look at the world. Okay, where do they put their trust? In these like whack job magazines. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see these magazines? Like, I sometimes think like, Princess Di, she can never die. Okay, Elvis Presley. I'm passed by and I still see pictures of Elvis Presley. Like, let the guy die. Okay. Leave him alone already. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy out there. Okay. Like, really? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, so all of this will have to come to an end. It will all have to be like when the Jews turned around and realized that, you know, people really believed that Pharaoh was a king. He was not only a king, they believed he was a god. Do you know what I mean? The whole idea of, like, you know, America's greatest idols. Okay, that's called idol worship. Okay, America's got idols. It's 100% the case. Okay, so in Olam Haba, all of this goes, right, crumbling down. And what do we have? I think I'm like excited, right? Ein od milvado, right? Like, could you imagine finally, like, all your friends running over and going, Barb, you were so smart. You were right. Sandy, you were right. Janet, you were right. Do you imagine, Cheryl? Okay, all the relatives running over. Cheryl, you had it right. Okay. Like, it'll be such an incredible gift. And we'll be so happy for everybody. And could you imagine living, take a big breath and realizing, no doubt. No doubt. No pull, no yitzhara. Okay, so that's what we're like. So you could imagine what the gift of Olam Haba is, right? Is everybody getting that, like, amazing feeling? Okay, so that was one gift that Hashem said. And he said, I'm giving every Jew the opportunity to be part of that story, to help bring the world to its destiny and enjoy that destiny. So even if you pass on, Hashem says, even if you pass on, but you were part of the team, right? You know, you pass the baton to the next person, there will be a time called what? Tchiyat HaMetim, a resurrection of the dead, and you will come back body and soul. So yes, we will eat, we will do those things, right? We will have a third temple that lasts forever, but we won't have all the mess of the confusion. Okay, so everybody will, like, it'll be a very beautiful world. You will have earned what you will have earned. You know what I mean? Like, the game's up. No more struggle. Game's up. Okay, now we're going to live happily ever after, so to speak. And that's how you see, like, all these concepts that we talk about, you see them played out in every movie and in all literature. Like, you know, you got what, 7 books of Harry Potter. Okay. Anybody reading Harry Potter? Like, every time you want him to win, you know, what's his name comes back. Okay. So it's like the story, I was thinking about it, it's mamish the story of the Jewish people. Like I was really looking at it thinking like, that's it, it's the story of the Jewish people, because this is the story of history. Okay, in the end, good guy will win.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Talia.
You said that that there'll be vegetarianism.
I think so. This is what we're saying, because really they say that man did not necessarily need to eat meat. It was only after the world was destroyed and we weren't as strong as we were before, but really the world.
So what about the temple? Will they have
That's why I'm not so sure. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm interested to see. So I don't want to like certain things I'm not well versed enough to be able to answer that question. Okay, so I don't know. Will it still be with carbonos? Like I'm not sure. Okay, and I don't know if for sure we'll be vegetarians. I'm not sure. So I can't even qualify that. You know, I don't know if some rabbis say it this way, some rabbis say that way. I'm not sure. I'm just going to answer that as honestly.
You know what? I just thought of something. It kind of makes sense that it would be vegetarian, because if the whole world sees Hashem, it's like milk and meat disappears.
No,
everything is pure.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like a good idea.
So we can all write our, good idea.
No, I don't know, but it's okay.
I don't know enough. Okay, I have to be honest. Sandy, I don't know. Like I believe you when you say you heard this, but I'm not 100% sure, so I can't qualify. Okay, next thing. So Olam Haba is the gift of time. All right, so that's what Olam Haba is, an eternal gift of time. It's the gift of time. Time will have its gift. Now, the gift of space, like I don't know about you, but as a Jew, it's very confusing. Like, where should we live? Okay, like this has been a hard one. And what are we davening to Hashem all the time? Gather us all in, from South Africa and from India and from Poland and from wherever we are, and bring us
Eretz Yisrael.
to Eretz Yisrael. So Eretz Yisrael is that piece of land that Hashem says where the physical and the spiritual are in perfect balance.
And you can feel it.
Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense, because when you want to charge a Jewish soul, where do we take them? To the land of Israel. All the missions, like, they'll tell you, like a mission 1 week in Israel can accomplish what somebody's doing like Chutz La'aretz for 2 or 3 years, right? So Israel obviously has like an incredible spiritual force. So what Hashem said, listen, it's the eye of the world. Jerusalem is the eye of the world. The world is fighting over this one little city. It's crazy. Okay. So the gift of space is Eretz Yisrael. Now, the third gift is the Torah. What's the gift of the Torah?
Instructions.
Knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge, instructions to what?
It never ever changes to life.
It's like the rock that we talked about. What's it a gift to? How is it a gift
to living?
Yes. Okay. So how is it a gift to us, to mankind, to us as Jews?
It's always the same. It's like the past, the present, and the future.
It's always the same, 100%. Past, you got it. It's good for us. It's eternal. Yeah. But what does it do for us?
It brings us closer to God.
It brings us closer to God, which does what?
Helps us to do. It connects. It's a connection.
It's a key to our connection for sure. What does it do? It actualizes all your potential. Okay, so realize something that's so important. It's purpose. Okay, it's purpose. Everything has purpose. The coffee spills on me. I could be fuming. Like that is the stupidest. I needed that like a hole in the head. Okay, like really. Like I was like, okay. Like I really didn't want it. I'm being real. Like if you would ask me on my little questionnaire, what do you want to happen today? You want boiling hot coffee to spill all over you? I would say big no. Right? I'm being honest. I would say big no, and I don't appreciate it. And I don't want it. No, thank you. Right? What does Torah tell me?
For you, good.
Yeah, Torah tells me it's for good. It's a love pact. Okay, I'm like, what? Okay, well, isn't that what Torah tells me? I was at someone's house from the shul. They invited us, and I really appreciated what they said. So it's very hard for them. They're becoming much more Torah sensitive, and they're growing and they're learning. And it's not at an easy age. You know, you take this on in your 50s. How old are your kids? They're in their 20s. Okay. So you're sitting at a Shabbos table with these people, and they want to impact their children, right? Now the kids are sitting there who are in their 20s, okay? 20s, 24, 26. What do you think they're thinking? Okay. Now remember, they're not raised with this stuff, right? And now you're sitting at this Shabbos table, and your dad is like, okay, everybody, we're gonna make a bracha. We're gonna wash our hands. I'm gonna tell you a story about the ancient Jews in the Midbar.
I
Right?
think their parents went crazy.
Yeah, okay. And then you see with the parents, like their hearts, like, oh, you know, they want the kid to get up and go, wow, you know, I'm feeling so bad. Like, and Rabbi, do you have something to say? And then, you know, we go on to this other, you know, Devar Torah of last week's parsha with the ancient Jews in the wilderness. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, you know, what's happening here? It was very interesting. And then the father said, turned to the kids and he said, guys, I know this all seems like crazy, but it's changed my life, and I'm a much better person for it. So it might seem like, you know, funny stories and this and that, but it's attitude. It's an attitude, and I have a completely different attitude to my life. And things that drove me crazy, and it was funny, he gave like an example. He said, like, I used to be stuck in traffic, like he had a very bad commute to work. I hated and resented every minute. Now I understand that there's a reason, and I'm okay. And I put a little Torah lecture in, and I'm the happiest person. In fact, I'm, you know, wish I could stay in traffic longer. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So this is what Torah gives you. A lot of the chaos that you find in the world today, especially I think the gender chaos, I'm being honest, is because people can't find themselves and they can't find meaning. And people are not finding meaning in relationships. So like I can see, like from a couple of people that I know, right? Like their teenage daughters, really rejected by guys. They're not cute. They're not pretty. They don't get to put themselves, you know, out there on Facebook and have everybody go like, and you sexy mama, and you this and you that, right? They're not attractive. They're overweight. They're this, they're that. So now they want to be a boy. Right? So I don't know so much it's because they really have boy tendencies, or everything has disappointed them so much they don't know where to find meaning, because they're not finding meaning as a woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if the definition of a woman is just their physical self, right, and how many guys you have, then they're not going to win. So a lot of this like chaos is because what is life all about, right? Right? So when we don't know what it's all about and what it's for, then we're really lost. So the Torah is the greatest gift we can have, because you know what it can do? It can keep body and soul together. Thing, right? The Torah will tell you how to take care of body, how to nurture body, how to be good to body, and how body can facilitate soul. And that's big, because that really is a balance. So we're not all body and we're not all soul. Torah can give us that meaning and that purpose. So that's really beautiful. So I love these gifts. Anybody in on the gifts? Like nobody wants to, you know, repackage them and send them someplace else, right? Okay, right? We all want them. We're not giving them away at somebody else's shower. We're keeping these gifts. Okay, so now we got to go back to the Rabbi Hoch story. So Rabbi Hoch said to his son, I'm happy to give you supersized Lego. I know that's exactly what you want and you'll really enjoy it, but you have to earn it, right? So now the question is, how does Hashem tell us to earn it? Now, when I'm going to say the word, you're not going to like it. Anybody know how you earn Olam Haba? How you earn Eretz Yisrael? How you earn Torah? What does the Talmud tell you what the word is?
Mitzvot.
No.
You have to do the right thing. You have to do all the
Section?
So others.
The word. Okay. And then we're going to explain it. Yisurim.
You what?
Yisurim. Does anybody know what the word Yisurim means?
Trouble, suffering.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back. Yeah, because that doesn't sound like fun, does it? All right. How do we earn to see the destiny of history? How do we earn Torah to really get the balance? How do we earn back living in the land of Israel, which is like the most blessed land, Hashem's own? How do we earn it? Through Yisurim. Okay, now Yisurim does not sound good. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. You like the word Yisurim? Okay. I have a great gift. Just you have to suffer for it. Okay. That is not appealing. So we have to know what the real translation of the word suffering means. Okay. Suffering in Hebrew is the word really means struggle. Okay. Suffering is a little bit different than struggle. Okay. So how's suffering different than struggle? Because we use the word suffering, tsuris, we call Yisurim is not, doesn't mean tsuris, it means to struggle. What does it mean to struggle? Like I'm being
every day is hard. You have to keep on going and trying little by bit to see what's going to be happening.
How's that different than Yisurim? How's that different than suffering?
Well, suffering is if someone's like strangling you, you're kind of dying.
Okay.
I don't know.
No. Okay. So
and this way you just
right.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Right. When
if you fail struggle, you suffer.
Okay, we gotta work on this one.
No,
This is really hard. Okay, so when you want to be an Olympic champion, you got to struggle. Okay, you struggle.
Yeah.
So the definition of Yisurim, okay, really want us to be really understand, because this is the thing, like, translating Hebrew, English, like, words have, what do they call it? The denotation, its real meaning, and then it has the connotation, right? Like what, that subtlety, that nuance, right? So the word Yisurim, I'm going to translate it, doesn't mean troubles and pains. It does mean the word struggle, but a certain kind of a struggle, okay? So when you're struggling, right, like you got to struggle when you are working in the Olympics. Look at this girl, Nebuch, the gymnast, like that was a big struggle. What did she need? She had to be mentally focused, physically focused. Like it was a struggle. That was a struggle for her, right? Right, you know who I'm talking, I don't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about, right? And at the end, I think she got a bronze. It was a struggle. It was a real struggle. What would make the struggle doable? What makes the struggle that you're willing to take it?
The end result.
So the struggle has to be meaningful. So the Torah is telling you, same thing with me. You see, here's the problem, right? Like today, somebody called me, my son called me, like tell me another good friend of his, Nebuch, got divorced. Like the divorce rate is getting really cuckoo. Okay, these are young couples. Like what the heck is going on? Didn't say that. Okay, like what is going on? You know what I mean? Like I really felt bad. He was a good friend of his, like crying. My son was crying on the phone. Okay, because struggle is a big word, and like to have marriage, you sometimes have to have meaningful struggle, right? What, like, to raise?
Is it really a struggle? Is it like a challenge? It's not so much
It's a meaningful challenge. Meaning, like we like to PC words. Okay, you're being smart. We're PCing the word. Like we like to PC words. You want them to be politically correct. You want them to be palatable. So we take down. Like we're dumbed down certain words so that we should all feel much more comfy. So definitely, to call the Yisurim a challenge is probably easier than struggle. Or what we're trying to do is call it a meaningful struggle. So a meaningful struggle is what Barb said. You are looking for an end result. You are looking for this goal. You want to see this goal happen. You're willing to put your kishkas in. That's what the Torah is telling you. Hashem is saying, I'm giving you these amazing gifts. They are eternal. They are phenomenal. They're the best thing that could ever happen to you. They will give you the greatest joy. But you can only get them. They don't come for free. If they come for free, it will be what Sandy said, right? You will take the gift for granted and will be meaningless. That's what right? And once you take it for granted, you don't need it anymore. You don't even want it. You disdain it. Do you know that? That's how you see all these like wealthy kids who, inherit gazillions of dollars. And at the end, what do? They run away to Peru, to live on an island barefoot and eat berries, okay? Because it's like they disdain it, you know what I mean? Because they didn't earn it. They didn't put any kishka into it. It means nothing to them. It's valueless in the end. It's such an interesting story. So Hashem is saying these three gifts are phenomenal, but you will have to struggle. So when we are looking in Elul, like I don't want us, you want to say to Hashem, you know what? Like we're all saying, please give me an easy life, give me an easy life, give me an easy life. Hashem's saying, I don't want to give you an easy life. I want to give you a good life, and a good life is meaningful struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear what I'm saying, everybody? Yeah? We're getting it's meaningful struggle. That's what it is. So all these things that we want, we just have to know heads up. Heads up. Shem, I love you, I'm turning towards you, and I don't want tragedy. I don't want the kind of pain that is so confusing. I don't even see the meaning in it. Please, Hashem, don't spare us. Like really, all my heart, spare us, right? But I'm gonna have to accept meaningful struggle. And I'm gonna have to appreciate that it's a gift. Everybody's on board with me, yeah?
Well, it's even like if you get married, you want to get married, you get married, and it's a struggle. Then you want to get divorced. No, you keep the marriage and deal with, and this is really bad.
You look at a bigger picture and you say, what is this marriage? What do I want from this marriage? But it takes effort to get through it. And that's the truth. Like anybody who's married, it's not a la land. Like it's you know what I mean? It's not like everyone thinks they're going to get married and then, Disney. It's just the beginning of your meaningful struggle, right? And then when you get over the hump 40 years later, you go, whoa. And that's on a good day, okay? No, but you hear what I'm saying. Okay, so you hear what I'm saying. So just like important, I just think it's important for us to appreciate it, right? And in the end, like it says, like, you'll be able, Hashem says, to look back and laugh. That's what it says. Hashem, when we will get to Eretz Yisrael, we will laugh. Right? We will laugh. What are we going to be laughing about? We're going to be laughing about that in crazy struggle. It will be like, that's why the Jewish people are the best comedians in the world. We're the best comedians in the world. We are. Okay, I'm not joking, right? Yitzchak, okay? Besides that, like, because Hashem is telling us, you know what? You're gonna, like, sometimes you laugh when something is so crazy and you put so much work into it. And finally you get, like, how many people they give birth and they they're, it was like terrible. And then finally the baby's there and you have this like crazy joy and you're laughing. I can't believe it. Right? This is what Hashem is telling us. Like, in the end, it will be all good and you will laugh. You will see evil will be vanquished and all of that struggle will bear fruit. And everything, it's very funny, this concept of bear fruit. So the Torah tells you, if you look at Olam Haba and you look at Torah and you look at man and you look at Olam Haba, what was the other one? Olam Haba, Torah, Eretz Yisrael. They're all compared to fruit. Olam Haba is also called Gan Eden. Okay, man is Eitz. We are the Eitz Hasadeh. We are the Eitz of the. And Eretz Yisrael is very famous for the Sheva Minim. We always talk, when we talk about Eretz Yisrael, we're talking about the pomegranate and the date and the this and the that. So it's all about fruit. So what's the interesting part about fruit? Like, how does a fruit tree grow?
The roots.
Yeah, it grows from roots, but what's it originally? What's originally a fruit tree?
A seed.
Seed, okay. So what happens to the seed? Like, it's very funny. A seed goes into the ground and it goes through a lot of yisurim. It grows through a lot of struggle. It really does. What does it have to do? It has to disintegrate. It has to break apart. It has to fall apart, right? It was very interesting the way this rabbi described it. It was very beautiful. He was saying, what's the sweetest fruit in Israel? The sweetest fruit.
The date?
Date, right? It's called a tamar, right? A tamar. Tamar means the bitterness stops. Tamar, bitterness stops. So there's like a great struggle to have a palm tree and a great struggle to have the dates that grow on it. So what happens, he said, the seed goes in and then the tree starts to grow. They say nothing tastes more bitter than the beginning of the bark of the palm tree. It takes 70 years. Could you imagine? 70 years is a lifetime, right? In the Mishnah, if you live to 70, it's considered a long life. That's considered a full long life is 70. What the Mishnah tells you, okay? So it takes this tree a full long life. And there's a struggle, right? For it to grow. And first it had to disintegrate and then it grows. And in the beginning it's bitter and it takes time for it to develop. And then after the 70 years, it develops and you have these beautiful dates and they are the sweetest of the sweet. But it took a struggle, a meaningful struggle to get to that point. Okay? So this just like important for us to see because a new year is coming, Mirz Hashem, right? And I hope it's blessed with everything in the whole wide world. But all the gifts and all the blessings that we're going to want, we're going to have to be real, right? They're going to come with meaningful struggle. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yes.
It's a good thing. It's really a good thing because we'll work hard and we'll have to use our mind and we'll have to be very mindful in conscious thinking, in conscious living. That's what Torah really is, right? Torah is not just living by accident. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I go through the whole day and then for 1 second I go, oh yeah, what am I here for? Like you will have the opposite. That's what meaningful struggle is. I know it sounds very funny, but meaningful struggle is doing what you're doing. Like I love all of you. I didn't even send out an email and you're here. Okay. No, I'm not even kidding. That's meaningful struggle. That means at 8:30, you say to yourself, you know what? I want to grow. I want to think. I was very busy during the day. Now I want to really sit and think. Like my day equals more than just checking off my list. Or my day is more than just, looking at Facebook or texting or watching Netflix. My day is more and I am more. And even through every part of your day, that's the hardest part. All the little stupid, mundane craziness that happens in your day, all the phone calls that you get that can make you happy or sad or whatever, you have to always keep taking them through the lens of Torah, through the gift of Torah. You have to keep to put your Torah glasses on all day, right? Your Olam Haba glasses, your Eretz Yisrael glasses. You have to keep putting them on all day, right? Is everybody understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right. And that's the meaningful struggle. But Hashem says with the meaningful struggle, there will be an incredibly happy ending and you will get a chance to laugh. You'll laugh at all that effort you put in. You'll laugh and joy, incredible joy. You will reap those rewards, right? And you'll see that beautiful tree called you blossom, and you'll see the beautiful fruits that you created. So it's really a very nice idea. Okay, Sandy, and even every one of our tefillas, I don't care. We are davening for shidduchim till everybody's married. Okay. That's it. I'm not going to think it's like we're not wasting our time. Okay.
We need shidduchim.
Okay, so here I just have Talia just asked me if we could add 2 people to the list. Okay, for the shidduchim, Adam ben Chava. Is that okay? Just to put him on your list. All right, Sandy, just for a minute. I'm sorry to bother you. Adam ben Chava.
Hold on, I have to find my list now.
Okay, so just
when you do this.
Okay, or yeah, just write it down for a minute. And Talia, you okay? Adam ben Chava.
No, hold on.
Okay, even if you just write it on a paper and fill it in later, is that okay?
That's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Adam ben Chava.
Talia bat Tamima.
Talia
Bat Tamima.
Tamima.
Okay, and now
okay, I need to know who gave the names to you though.
Okay, so the person who gave her name is Talia, and she's on right now with us. And she just typed it into the chat.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we're going to do now is we'll say the Tehillim.
Okay. Shira Malot.
Shir
Shir
Hamalot.
Lamalot.
Esa Enai
Esa
Asa
Enai.
Enai.
El Heharim
El
El Heharim.
Me'ayin Yavo Ezri.
Me'ayin Yabo Izri.
Ezri Me'im Adonai
Ezri Me'im Adonai.
Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz.
Oseh
Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz.
Al Yiten
Al
Al Yiten
Lamot Raglecha
Lamot
Lamod Raglecha.
Al Yanum Shamrecha.
Al
Al Yanum Shomerecha.
Hine Lo Yanum
Hine Lo Yanum.
Velo Yishan
Velo Yishan.
Shomer Yisrael.
Shomer Israel.
Adonai Shomrecha
Adonai Shomerecha.
Adonai Tzilcha
Adonai
Adonai Tzilcha.
Al Yad Yeminecha.
Al
Al
Yad
Yad Yeminecha.
Yomama Shemesh
Yomam
Yomam HaShemesh.
Lo Yakeka
Lo
Lo
Yakeka
Yakeka.
Ve'areach Balayla.
V'yareach
Yarach
Balayla.
Balayla.
Adonai Yishmorcha
Adonai
Adonai Shmorcha.
Mikol Ra.
Mikol
Kol
Ra.
Ra.
Yishmor et Nafshecha.
Yishmor et
Shmor et
Nafshecha.
Nafashecha.
Adonai Yishmor
Adonai
Adonai
Yishmor
Shmor.
Seitcha Uvoecha
Seitcha Uvoecha
Me'ata ve'ad olam.
Me'ata
Me'ata ve'ad olam.
Ad Olam.
Hi ratzon lefenech Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu shetamtzi zivug ra'ui v'chanun lekol echad mibnei u'mibnat Yisrael.
Amen.
And
Thank you, everybody, so
Amen.
much. Have a good sweet
thank
week.
you.
It's Hashem, only good news and good things, okay?
You too, Gail. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good night.